welcome to the next video. Today I'm going to be talking about how do you build a workout routine, because there's a lot of things out there to find workout routines, which is actually what I'm going to recommend, but with some nuance to it. But first of all, the very first thing you should do when you're developing a workout routine is you need to know how many days a week you can for sure go to the gym. This does not mean how many gyms would you how many days would you like to go to the gym. This is how many days you can actually show up to the gym undoubtedly, no matter what happens, rain or shine or snow, car, no car. Okay, that's kind of silly. But it's like the baseline minimum amount of days you can for sure go to the gym, because you don't even want to open up that door of like, oh, I sometimes go on Sundays, I sometimes don't. Like, let's just not even try to like add a variable into it for that sake. So the next thing that I want you to do is find an online program. There's so many, like just look up free bodybuilding programs or whatever, right? You find one and you modify it. So hopefully the program you chose matches the amount of days that you can work out. That's pretty good. The next thing you want to do is take a look at it and just give it a quick just think about it in your head, right? Is it too many sets? Is it too much volume? Is it too little volume? Is it excessive? Is it making you do 5 sets of one thing, 4 sets of one thing? Those are red flags. Does it make sense? Like, hopefully you have your heavier lifts and your weaker lifts. So what does that mean? That mean if you have a push day, like a chest and shoulder day, right? Hopefully you're doing, the exercises that are generally um heavier in terms of absolute load, right? So you want to be fresh. If let's say you start a day, you got a bench press, you got to do a tricep exercise, a shoulder exercise, maybe more shoulders, whatever, right? Hopefully you do the one that you're stronger at first, so that you have energy, trickle down energy, versus like, let's say you start an exercise doing like, I don't know, you start with like a tricep push down, right? But then by the time you get to the bench press, you're already tired. So like, are you willing to sacrifice the chest gains, or like, if that's what you want to do, that's also viable. But think about the exercise you do. I also want to say, like, it's almost like you're using a template when I think you're using a template actually, when you're finding these online programs, right? So you find the program, make sure you switch out exercises, because not every exercise feels the same on every person. So make sure you actually enjoy doing the exercise, or like at least it's bearable, or like it doesn't hurt, or like it doesn't like give you any bad vibes. And also make sure that the exercises you do target the muscle that you actually want to use it for. So like if you're doing a tricep extension, sometimes, or like those dip machines where like you're sitting there and you're like this, but like like it just feels kind of weird. You don't know if it's like a tricep, shoulder, whatever. Um, find machines, cables, dumbbells, exercise movements that do what they're supposed to do. If it's a chest exercise, hopefully you feel your chest. If you don't feel that target muscle, just pick something else. Like, there's no need to like waste your time. The next thing I want to talk about is volume versus frequency. Now, I don't think those are actually like common terms, but I'm just gonna try to describe it in these terms, right? So you might have a program that tells you to do like freaking 3 exercises of 4 sets, right? That's 12 total sets, and maybe that's for the same muscle. That's 12 total sets for one muscle. That is a lot, like a lot. I personally do maybe 3. Honestly, I do 3 sets per session for one muscle. Maybe 6 if it's like for the back. But like, rarely will I do more than like 5 sets per muscle. So, try to like red flag, kind of like change exercises, take it out, What's more important as of now is frequency. So you want to focus on hitting a muscle 2 times a week. Okay, keep it 2 times a week. The volume, like the amount of sets you have to do, I mean, 4 sets, 3 sets, 6 sets, but twice a week, that's already pretty solid. You know, as a beginner, let's keep it like that. I think that's perfectly fine. There's a million nuances, but I think just having your baseline is completely fine. It'll work wonders. Next thing I want to talk about is when you're developing this program, when you're actually running the program, focus on progression. So what does that mean? That means focus on getting stronger for everything actually. But make sure your form is as good as it can be. Make sure you're being patient. Don't rush weights. Like don't rush trying to get stronger and stronger. Enjoy the journey. Take it slow. But focus on progression. If you're clearly doing a weight, it's been maybe 1, 2, 3 weeks, and you know that it is no longer difficult, go up in weight. Like that's kind of like the goal. That's the progression. And lastly, I've seen a lot of people kind of do this where they don't have actual programs. They just kind of feel. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a strong believer in that. So I'm gonna say don't exercise hop. So try to do an exercise for at least like a couple months, 3-4 months, right? And then if you want to take it out, then take it out. But like if it's working and you're getting stronger, there's really no reason to like take it out. There are some movements in the gym where like they're staples, right? Like some type of bench press. You really can't get around with not bench pressing. I don't know, any pull down, lat pull down, pull up. You really have to do some form of pulling down to actually develop your back. But yeah, just don't exercise hop because we need some type of consistency. We need a way to standardize machines so that we can track for the gains. Okay, and when you're starting out, when you're making a routine, always kind of start easy and ramp up slowly, right? So like if you're trying a program, I for sure would do 2 to 3 sets as like low-key kind of like a maximum. Like you don't want to be doing more than, I want to say as a beginner, you don't really need more than 3 sets for an exercise. And if you feel like you do, that means the exercise may not be great for you, or like you're just not trying that hard, which could also mean like the weight's not heavy enough. But there are some instances where like I do an exercise and I don't even know if it's working, but like I'm able to do so much. But like you should be able to train and work out a muscle and be like, yeah, I feel like that muscle is really used, I can't really use it anymore, or that muscle is like locally tired, those type of ideas. And like also keeping it easy so that like you don't like hit a wall super hard and like you kind of fall back on yourself and like you kind of did it to yourself, but like you still wanted to train hard and everything, but you just gotta get up and get back on it. But you could have prevented this if you started easier. And I legit, what that really means is like don't go too crazy on the sets. And I guess I'll have like a closing, like I think everyone is different when it comes to like how much you're doing in a single session, but like kind of listen to your body. There have been moments where like I could only do like 12 sets in a session, and then there have been moments where I've done like 18 sets in a session. But as long as you keep it easy and ramp up slowly, because generally speaking, doing more kind of leads to more gains, like more sets, more work over time, power. Actually, never mind. But all that stuff is kind of how you build or become better at this whole journey and such and such. But yeah, I hope that this was informative. These are all kind of things that I would tell anyone if they asked me how to build a workout routine. So yeah, well, that's the video. I hope you learned something, and I'm gonna be making the next video.